So, Coach, obviously a lot of firsts this year, most tournament wins, first regional. Just wondering if when you took the job, you expected to kind of have the program at this point so quickly.
That was the goal. That was the dream. I think when we stepped in 4 years ago, there's so much success across all the sports here at the University of Oregon. So we knew it could be done. Extremely proud of where this program is at, and can't wait to see where it is moving forward.
How much has last year's NCAA championship experience kind of fueled this group? Kind of, the highs and lows maybe of that.
Yeah, last year, that was the first time that any of our five really have played in the national championship. And so missing that match play by just 2 shots last year and that top 8 to advance, I think definitely stuck with them, and it was a huge learning curve. And so you can see them just really utilize that right from the get-go this season. And so I'm really excited. The goal all year is to get in that top 8. And so I'm excited for them to have that opportunity.
How much more confidence do you guys have having had such great postseason success?
Yeah, we're 2 for 2. So we're going to see if we can complete the trifecta. A lot of confidence right now. And I think, as a coach, you want them peaking at the right time. And we feel like we're peaking at the right time. So can't wait to see what we can do with Greyhawk.
And it feels like you had different people having success at Pac-12s, other people having success at the regionals. What does that do to kind of show that, team-wide, that anybody can be the person on any given day?
To have as strong of players as we do from 1 to 5 is everything. I looked today, the rankings. Cynthia Liu is at 12th in the country, all the way down to Brianna Chacon, who just had a huge win at regionals. She's now ranked number 32 in the country, and we're all in between. So I don't know if there's anybody else in the country that has that strong of 5 and that depth. We're going to utilize that going forward. But that's the thing as we talk about them. Whose week is it? Who's up next? And so to see Brianna do that at regional when it was, she hasn't had, I would say, played up to her potential this year was huge. And so she's really feeling confident along with the rest of the 5, and I can't wait to see what we can do.
Peaking at the right time for
That's
her.
right, peaking at the right time.
Were there particular elements of her game that clicked? Did you feel like you saw that coming?
Yeah, Brianna worked really hard with her swing coach, Greg Castleman. And so Greg has been her swing instructor ever since she was 12 years old. And they did a lot of work really before she came. She hasn't really felt confident with where her ball flight was, I would say, kind of into the fall and into the early part of this spring season. So she worked really hard. And we noticed some things, and just confidence really was the biggest factor. We, in New Mexico, it was really windy. And so, you either have an option as a golfer to hit a 3/4 shot or a full hard swing through the wind. And every time she had that option, she chose to take the left club and swing with confidence. So that was a big factor to me as a coach, to see that she's believing in herself right now. And man, to do what she did, it was the Chacon show. We were just riding her coattails, and so proud of her.
You talk about confidence with your group a lot, and just wanting to keep them confident. You don't shy away from expectations. How do you kind of balance that line of kind of propping them up and not shying away from expectations, but not making that turn into pressure that's on them to fulfill that?
Yeah, I think, it's been a process. I think we set the expectation, I would say, 4 years ago when we got here. But at the same time, we want to make it reasonable expectation and know that they can achieve. And I think for them, they feel like they can go into every tournament winning. And that's a big step. When we first got here 4 years ago, we asked the players, what do you want? And they said, we want to show up to the tournament and feel like we can win. And to now show up and feel like that we can win each and every week is huge. And I'm so proud of this program to put it right up there with the top, especially in golf and women's golf. And it's something I'm extremely proud of.
So you're working to get to this, but still to say that winning the NCAA championships is a reasonable expectation,
yeah,
and not heaping too much pressure, that's also, there's probably some people who be like, well, that's wild.
Yeah, it's for sure, and it's a challenge, but I think we're up for it. The thing that we really try to do with our team is keep them in the moment and not let them get too far ahead. So if we maximize each and every shot, lean on Coach Monica's experience, lean on my experience, and I think they trust us and they trust each other. So I think that puts them at ease, that they can hopefully be right there at the end to bring home the title.
I was just about to ask, Coach Mo, she's not too far removed from her playing days at ASU. What has her value, her leadership, her experience been able to do to help the girls? in these situations.
Yeah, it's everything. Coach Mo, when she was in college, she played for her team. That's really what drove her. And we have to find, what drives each and every individual on our team, and that's what drove her. So that's a huge part of it, especially as you get into postseason. And I think one of my favorite things is if you go Google search Monica Vaughn, there's a picture that pops up with her celebrating. And when you see that picture, it looks like it was her winning the national championship. It's not. It's when one of her teammates won her home tournament and beat her by a couple her senior year. And we use that as motivation for our team, that if you cheer for your teammates that much, you'll have a lot of success in the postseason, because Coach Mo knew that her team was going to go on and do something special that year. So it was pretty cool. If you Google search Monica Vaughn, it pops up.
Do you think that's been a piece of your success from Pac-12 to the regional, cheering for one another?
For sure. And, these five, very rare in sports, you get your whole starting five back the next year. And so for us to have them back, we know the drill on the road. They're comfortable with each other. They're comfortable with us coaches. And it's been so fun to see this success that they've had. I mean, look, to be standing here at the end of the year with 5 wins under our belt, that's what we hope to do. But to sit here and say that we actually did it is something that is still not, I wouldn't say shocking for me, because that's the expectation that we laid down, but something that we'll always be proud of. And we want to go finish this thing off the right way.